What if I told you some of the most genuinely terrifying and mind-bending thrillers of the past decade have been completely forgotten? The 2010s were a goldmine for intense cinema, but time has a way of burying even the best. We're challenging that notion today, revisiting films that once had us on the edge of our seats. Can these forgotten thrillers still deliver the kind of gripping tension and unexpected twists that made them famous? All streaming info is in the pinned comment below, so check that out. Now buckle up, because we're about to get dark, twisted, and wonderfully uncomfortable. Let's go. Okay, so imagine you're a single mom, exhausted, your kid won't stop screaming about monsters, and then plot twist, the monster is real, and it's basically your depression in a top hat. This movie doesn't play with cheap jump scares. It goes straight for your soul. It's got this raw, suffocating atmosphere that makes you feel trapped in someone's mental breakdown. The kid is annoyingly intense, but that's the point. You're watching this mom spiral, and you can't tell if she's losing it or if something evil is stalking them. The Shining comparisons are spot on, because it's got that same slow burn dread, where domesticity becomes horrifying. Essie Davis absolutely destroys this role. This isn't your typical monster movie, it's a metaphor with teeth. The Babadook will emotionally wreck you in the best way possible. Here's a revenge thriller that's basically the anti-John Wick. No stylish suits, no cool choreography, just a homeless dude with a beard who decides to get payback and absolutely botches every step in the most distressing way imaginable. This movie is uncomfortable, messy, and shockingly real. Our hero isn't a trained assassin. He's just a broken guy who thinks killing his parents' murderer will fix everything, and instead kicks off a violent spiral that goes completely out of control. There's brutal honesty about gun violence here. No glorification, just consequences. The cinematography is gorgeous in this bleak way that makes every blood splatter feel documentary real. You're watching someone drown in terrible decisions and you can't look away. Low budget, high impact, pure adrenaline. Blue Ruin is a masterclass in indie thriller filmmaking. Dinner parties are awkward enough without the cult vibes, right? This movie takes that social anxiety and cranks it to 11. You've got an ex-couple, a reunion with old friends, and then two very suspicious strangers show up, and suddenly everyone's watching a disturbing recruitment video that's definitely a cult. The whole film is this slow-building paranoia where you're like, is this guy overreacting or is everyone actually in danger? And the genius part is you genuinely don't know. The tension is suffocating because it's all happening in one house, mostly in real time. Logan Marshall Green carries this with such raw anxiety that you feel every awkward moment, every suspicious glance. Then that ending, that final shot with the city lights, chef's kiss. Dark, twisted, and deeply unsettling. The Invitation is psychological horror done right. Founded footage usually makes me roll my eyes, but this one got under my skin. It's basically what would happen if Michael Scott was secretly a serial killer. Sounds absurd, sounds funny, and it is until it absolutely isn't. Mark Duplass plays this guy who hires a videographer, says he wants to make a video for his unborn kid, and then proceeds to be the weirdest, most uncomfortable human imaginable. And here's the thing, it feels real, like disturbingly real. The awkwardness, the boundary crossing, the moments where you're laughing nervously and then suddenly you're just not laughing anymore. Duplass commits so hard that you can't tell if he's harmless or if you should be calling the cops. Some people find it boring, but they miss the point. This is about that creeping dread when someone's vibe is just off. Creep is the founded footage movie that actually earned its scares. South Korea said, let's make a corrupt cop thriller, and then threw in dark comedy, a corpse in a coffin, and non-stop chaos. This movie does not let you breathe. Our protagonist is having the worst day. His mom just died, his marriage is falling apart, and then he accidentally kills someone with his car and decides to hide the body in his mother's coffin. Yeah, insane. But then it gets worse because someone witnessed it and now he's being blackmailed and everything spirals into this beautifully choreographed disaster. The action is tight, the pacing is relentless, and the tone walks this razor's edge between thriller and pitch black comedy. Lee Sun-kyung's performance is phenomenal. You're watching a man unravel in real time. It's got that Korean thriller energy where everything is heightened but grounded. A Hard Day is a masterclass in escalating tension. Hey, quick thing, if you're loving this, hit that subscribe button and smash the like. Seriously helps us keep bringing you these hidden gems. Now, back to the madness. William Friedkin said, "Let me make the most uncomfortable movie possible," and delivered this absolutely brutal black comedy. We're talking NC-17 territory here. The plot involves a family of idiots hiring a cop who moonlights as a contract killer to murder their mom for insurance money, and everything goes wrong in the most disturbing ways. Matthew McConaughey plays this role with such unsettling charisma that you're both mesmerized and horrified. There's graphic violence, deeply uncomfortable sexuality, and bleakness that seeps into every frame. The cinematography makes everything look grimy and desperate, and the performances are so raw you feel every terrible decision. Killer Joe is merciless, shocking, and absolutely unforgettable. Denis Villeneuve made a movie that feels like a fever dream. Jake Gyllenhaal plays dual roles, a boring teacher and a sleazy actor who look identical, and what starts as curiosity becomes obsession, becomes a full-blown identity crisis nightmare. The whole movie is drenched in this sickly yellow haze. Toronto looks apocalyptic, and nothing is explained because Villeneuve trusts you to figure it out, or not. Is it about duality, cultural division? Yes, maybe, who knows? There are giant spiders, cryptic symbolism, and an ending that will haunt you forever. Gyllenhaal is mesmerizing in both roles, showing subtle differences. It's slow, cerebral, deeply unsettling, and feels like European art house cinema collided with a psychological thriller. Enemy is the kind of movie you'll be thinking about for days. This is a social issue drama disguised as a thriller, and it's infuriating in all the right ways. Andrew Garfield plays a guy who gets evicted, then starts working for the exact scumbag who evicted him. Michael Shannon playing a real estate shark, profiting off people's suffering during the housing crisis. And here's the gut punch. You watch Garfield become the thing he hated because he's desperate to get his house back. The movie doesn't give easy answers. It shows you how the system grinds people down and forces impossible choices. Shannon is terrifyingly charismatic, and Garfield is heartbreaking as a good man compromising his morals bit by bit. The eviction scenes are brutal, genuinely hard to watch. It's a punch to the gut, wrapped in excellent filmmaking. 99 Homes is as relevant now as it was then. Jeff Nichols crafted this incredibly tense psychological thriller about a regular guy having apocalyptic nightmares and becoming convinced a massive storm is coming to destroy his family. Michael Shannon, because of course it's Michael Shannon, delivers this powerhouse performance as a man spiraling into either prophetic visions or mental illness, and the movie brilliantly keeps you guessing. He starts obsessively building a storm shelter, draining savings, alienating his wife, and you're watching this slow-motion train wreck. The dreams are visceral and terrifying, and there's constant dread hanging over everything. Jessica Chastain is phenomenal as the wife holding everything together. And that ending, holy hell, that ending is ambiguous perfection. It's about mental health, economic anxiety, and the primal need to protect what you love. Take Shelter is an emotionally devastating masterpiece. And now we're ending with an absolute beast from South Korea. This thing is long, intense, confusing, and absolutely brilliant. A bumbling cop investigates mysterious deaths, his daughter gets possessed, there's a suspicious Japanese stranger, a shaman performing the most insane exorcism you've ever seen, and plot twists that'll give you whiplash. This movie throws everything at you. Horror, mystery, dark comedy, religious symbolism, and somehow it all works. The atmosphere is drenched in dread, the visuals are stunning and disturbing, and the ending is ambiguous in a way that'll have you spiraling. Our protagonist is frustratingly incompetent, making terrible decisions constantly. But that's the point. He's a regular guy facing supernatural forces beyond his understanding. By the end, you'll feel as wrecked as the characters. The Wailing is an absolutely unforgettable horror mystery epic. And there you have it, 10 absolutely killer thrillers from the 2010s that still pack a punch in 2026. Drop a comment and let me know which one you're watching first. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Streaming info is pinned below. Thanks for hanging out on this chaotic movie marathon. Until next time, keep watching, keep discovering, and remember, the best movies are the ones everyone forgot about. Peace.